if there's a gap between what you see in the mirror versus what you've achieved on paper, this is 100% for you, because this doesn't happen because there's just one bad month or you have one cheat meal. It really happens because there's tens of thousands of reasonable decisions in your life where there's no system. And if most of the guys that hear this understand this one concept, they will genuinely be able to create a system where they'll be able to make their health and fitness not feel like a liability, but feel like it's actually integrated into their life. And when that really happens, things go from, man, it feels like a checklist. I have to go and train. I have to take care of my nutrition, to this is who I am. And there's no more of this, hey, I have to fit like a bigger shirt, pull it down during meetings. There's no cameras off because you just don't feel like you want to like show yourself. There's no 2 p.m. crashes where it's just like it's like in the middle of the day and you're just so tired. None of that ever happens anymore. You don't have to like look and feel like you hear this doctor's tone. It's not like it's an alarming tone. It's almost just like, hey, you should probably take care of yourself. There's no more of that. And the reason why is because you really build this into something that becomes a system. Most of our clients, they're not undisciplined. Like, that's not really the issue. In your company, decisions have been removed years ago. You have defaults. You have CRM to manage who you need to call. You have systems in place, SOPs, so that it's just like, hey, implement, implement, implement. But in your own body, you're still trying harder. You're still trying to do this in between flights. You're still trying to do this where you're trying to use your willpower, but the willpower doesn't scale. If you're relying purely on willpower, eventually it's going to fade. Motivation will inevitably go away. You need to have systems. And you already know this. You proved this in your career. You already know that system is the way because now it's standard. It's an operating system that allows you to do it even when there's chaos, even when it's tax seasons, or even if there's, a ton of things. There's so much chaos. You have to take clients out for dinner, just travels nonstop. When you have systems, even if your life feels like it's about to break, it becomes easy. I'll give you an example, okay? One of our clients, he's a sales director. His name's Jason. Dude is shredded. Maybe I put a photo of him. But one of his big issue was that because he's in sales, he feels like he has to drink alcohol. Like his team literally lives off Zins and whiskey. That's literally what he told me. So how do you build a system where he's able to be that leader, the sales director, and also be able to take clients out for dinner? Because it's like in his head, it's like if he drinks alcohol, if he has a whiskey, he might close a deal, right? But the problem is this: people think that you have to remove it entirely. You don't need to, guys. You don't need to remove whiskey entirely. If it's something that's going to help you close a deal in your head, that's a story, by the way, right? Because there's so many different ways you can still manage. You can still close many deals and not have to drink alcohol. It's a story that he has, but that's a different kind of story here. A system will allow you to still close a deal, still drink alcohol if you feel like that's actually necessary, and be able to consistently do this. A system allows you to continuously do this repeatedly over and over and over again while still hitting your goals. It reduces the likelihood of having barriers so that it increases the likelihood of your success. And so when you have systems, it no longer feels so difficult because you know that this thing will work for you. So what do we do? Okay, let's break down the client dinner example. My client, Jason, really, really likes to take clients out to steakhouses. Why? Wine and dine feels good. Drink a little bit of alcohol. It's really, really good. Close a lot of deals that way. So instead of, hey, the generic advice of you should just cut out all carbs, don't, go for dinner, don't go to the restaurants. What would make the most amount of sense is let's get your data. Let's get an actual measurement of where you're currently at. Body fat percentage, visceral fat, muscle mass, energy level, sleep, all that stuff. And then from here, look at it from a week's time point. On Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Monday, you're in routine. Tuesday, you're in routine. Wednesday, you got to take clients out for dinner every single Wednesday. Okay. And on Thursday, it's your big travel day. Every single Thursday, you might have to drive 3 hours to go meet a client, or you have to hop on a plane. Perfect. So we have two variables that we need to solve for. All we need to do is create a plan for when you're in dinner. So, for instance, one of the things you could try is just something called a refeed day. A refeed day just increases you can manipulate your carbs, guys. Okay. And the way you can manipulate your carbs, you can have higher carbs day for your higher training days. And this is going to increase glycogen storage, which then fuels your muscle even more, which then gives you the ability to use more of that energy to push hard in the gym, which will increase gains. So we can apply something called a refeed day on his Wednesday because he takes clients out for dinners. It's a thing that he's going to do all the time. From here, when he implements it, we can then create a plan for when he's traveling on Thursday. Maybe on Thursday, because he's traveling, it could be a lower carb day, whatever it is. These are examples, okay? And all we need to do is at the end of the week is reassess. What is the thing that we're measuring? Body fat percentage. Who cares about the weight? You can literally lose 20, 30 pounds if you step on a scale. Like, there's tons of people that can lose 20, 30 pounds. They look exactly the same. Why is that? Because they only focus on the weight. Who cares about weight? Care about body fat percentage. So from here, let's just say we get you set up with our partners, get a DEXA scan, or we just ship you an in-body scan machine. On Monday to Friday, we now have data to see what works for you. And now we can start to look at the data and be like, wow, if Jason has this whiskey, this type of whiskey, this type of carb, this type of steak, this XYZ, and on Thursday he has a low carb day, this is how his body responds. He lost no weight, but he lost 1 pound of fat, gained 1 pound of muscle. Oh my God, in 1 week? That's crazy. Keep going. Why did this happen? Now you extrapolate the data and be like, kid, this actually makes a lot of sense. That is how you build a system. Instead of depriving yourself and just living in a Tupperware container where you just have chicken, breast. I can't do that anymore. It sounds terrible. It sounds like a terrible way to live, right? Our clients are way too rich to live in the Tupperware container, to bring that container in to a restaurant. It doesn't make sense. It's freaking embarrassing, right? You're not doing that. You're way too rich for that. And if you're watching this, it makes a lot of sense, right? So instead of just restricting yourself, a really good idea would be to start to build that system. And there's a system for everything. There's a system for if you're going on a boat day, right? You're going on a boat and you want to like have a good time, you want to go party here and there. You don't have to restrict that stuff. It's about planning ahead. It's about looking at your calendar, removing things that don't work, removing the guesswork, looking at assessments, using your metabolic tests. And then from there, it's all about personalization. When you personalize a system to the individual, it no longer feels like it's so difficult. It no longer feels like, hey, you got to track your macros and hit your protein and just do this, restrict yourself every single day. It doesn't make sense. It now starts to slowly go into a system where it becomes easier. And this journey at first, it's hard, guys. Like, you're trying to create a behavior change. If you're watching this video, you're crushing your business. Okay. You're crushing it probably in your family life too. But this one aspect, it's so like, it's not where you want to be. And so in order for you to go from here to here, you have to create a behavior change. You have to start operating like the person that is 10% body fat. And yes, of course, there's different ways you can do this. You can look at your hormones, you can look at your bloods, you can look at labs, you can look at supplementation, having some sort of way to analyze your body to optimize that, to look at your energy levels. Of course, like it's this beautiful thing that it's just not like, hey, you just get shredded right away. The goal here is not just get shredded. The goal here is to get to 10% body fat and maintain it very easily. And the way you do that is by having a really good system, but more importantly, starting taking action of the person that's 10% body fat. And that's all you do. If you're done trying to guess and try to like willpower your way and you're done with yo-yo dieting, all you need to do, check out the link below. Okay. We're going to actually talk to you about how the system actually works, head to toe. It really helps you understand it. And if it makes sense, book a call with one of us and we're going to help you install this system into your life. Remember, guys, it is not about doing more. It's about installing systems to remove things that don't matter for you to find efficiency in the things that do matter. And the only way you can do that is not based off what I say, it's based off of what the data says. And if you can find the thing that works for you, game over. It's so easy. Talk soon.